Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Bullring today, presented by R&S Race Cars. I'm Alan Dietz, along with Jess Ballard, and our friends with R&S have been with us on Cars Tour Weekly, and not going to have a Cars Tour Weekly this week. That's weird, but we're not. And I just want to thank R&S Race Cars for being with us on Cars Tour Weekly.
And we're happy to have them here today.
Yeah. Got a big show today, Jess. Cole Butcher, again, will make his weekly visit here with us on the Bullring or whatever show we're working on. Bob Sargent's going to talk to us about a lot of things. The truck race at Milwaukee, Winchester coming up this weekend. If we have time, we'll touch on a little ASA Stars. Jay Pennell going to be with us from Racing America to talk about Darlington and racer jobs. And we'll also hear from Gavin Graham and Ken Minnot. What do you think of that?
Loaded guest list today.
And we're going to talk a lot about the Oxford 250 throughout today's show. We'll take a break. When we come back, we will talk to the winner of this year's Oxford 250, Cole Butcher.
5-star bodies, the most advanced bodies on the market, aerodynamically engineered, manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials, tested tough for optimum performance. The highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looked so good. Faster, lighter, stronger, better. 5-star.
What creates a winning combination? Quality, focus, discipline, and most importantly, speed. At Pepperjack Kennels, we provide exceptional water and land training services for hardworking retrievers. From leading in the field to leading on the track, together we establish winning dogs and a winning team. Devoted to retrievers and motorsports, we are Pepperjack Kennels. Visit us online to learn more.
Welcome to Raceface Digital Collectible Cards. Are you a driver or a team looking to expand your brand? Want to connect with your fans, give sponsors more exposure, and earn income from all card sales? Then Raceface Digital has you covered. Digitize your brand with 5 different collectible cards. Enrollment is now open to all drivers and all series. Visit racefacedigital.com today and use invite code RA1.
Hi, I'm Cole Butcher, and you're watching Racing America.
Welcome back to the Bullring, presented by R&S Race Cars. I'm Alan, she's Jess, and as we've joked about, our weekly visit with Cole Butcher is about to begin now, as he's on the pole here today because he won the Oxford 250. Congratulations, Cole, on winning the 250. And I was kind of being tongue-in-cheek about this weekly thing, but you're becoming a pretty regular guy here on the Bullring.
Yeah, thank you. No, it's nice to see you guys again.
All right, so let's go ahead and get it started. What happened there at the beginning of the race with you and Jimmy Renfro?
I kind of just misjudged where I was at. I take full responsibility, and I got into him. We spun him out. So I apologize to Jimmy. I was able to talk to him after the race. We shook hands, but I definitely owe him one in the future.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Everything was good. I mean, it wasn't fair for them for what happened. I'm sure if the track probably being damp and everything probably didn't help with what happened. But no, I took full responsibility, and we shook hands after, like I said, and it's going to move on to the next one.
Well, it looked like to me, and not to interrupt, Jess, but just to finish this, it almost looked like to me you were trying to make the same move that you ended up making on Joey Dwyer, because it seems like you have to time it just right to be able to get under that car coming off turn 2. So you got the inside lane going into turn 3.
Yeah, I was trying to get under him. It was just so hard. I mean, Oxford the last couple of years has been definitely bottom heavy on the front and back stretch. So I was trying to make a run. I just mistimed it and got in on him, and unfortunately I spun him out. And fortunately enough, he made it back up to second way faster than I did, but I think something happened on pit road and it took him out of the contention, which is unfortunate because those guys were having a really good run.
So I think drivers have some of the best grudge holding capabilities of anyone else in the human race. How long?
You're pretty good at holding a grudge.
Well, I put myself almost, but and I think that comes from being the significant other of a driver. So, in your mind, how long do you hold a grudge, or in this case, how long do you keep a file of like, oh, well, I owe him one in the future? Is it a season? Is it 5 seasons? How long do drivers keep track of this stuff?
I don't know. I think I owe a lot of people one, or seems like I piss somebody off every year. So, I don't know. I don't really hold a grudge. I think it is what it is. I've never actually been intentionally wrecked. Mostly it's been a racing incident, so I don't really have any issues with anybody, but I think there's a long list of people that don't like me. So, I mean, it is what it is. I'm aggressive, maybe too aggressive at sometimes. So, no, I probably owe people way more than they owe me.
Well, so you go to the back there, and I knew you had a great race car. I mean, I don't know if I've seen a car that was that good in the heat races that you could start that far back and then not only work your way up to the front, but end up winning it. So you knew that the car was good. Everybody knew that the car was good. How did your approach change once you went back there, and do you sit there and do you say, all right, we need to be here by such and such, or do you just literally take it lap for lap?
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I talked to my wife after I was driving to the field. You know, I got stuck behind a lot of cars. It was just so hard to pass, and everybody was so equal. I was just tight when I was behind cars. I said to my wife, Amber, I said, you know, I was thinking about what I want to do next year for racing, or if I want to race next year, you know, if I want to start a family. Like, I wasn't in the mood to race. Like, I was like, oh, crap, I frigged up. I'm an idiot. So at the time, I was just waiting for the race to be over. Like, I didn't plan on winning. And then, you know, my crew did such a good job on pit stops. And once we got a really long run, and that's when my car came to me. And we started to pass cars and get up to like 12th. I think we came over to the pits like 7th. So at that point, I'm like, oh, okay, we might get something here. And then I kind of refocus, and I, you know, passed Dwyron, Johnny Clark, Max, Derek Griffiths, and then we ended up in the lead, and that all went away. And you know, we just put our heads down and won the race. So honestly, in the middle of the race, or after I got into Jimmy, I wasn't in the racing mood. I was ready to go home. I was like, I'm an idiot. You know, my crew wanted to fight me. Jimmy's crew wanted to fight me. Yeah.
That's so interesting that you bring that up. That is something I can relate to a little bit with Travis. I feel like once you get this age, you're kind of in a odd spot where you start thinking, you know, racing takes up all your time. It's so emotional. It takes so much physical energy, so much time. And you get to a point where you're like, is this what I want to be doing? Is this what I should be doing? Is it worth it? And I think there's this age where a lot of things are being considered, and it's a part of racing that we don't really talk about a lot, but it's definitely a big part of it because it's so hard to go into these big events where your head really has to be in it when you're considering all these other things. So do you feel differently in Victory Lane? And now that you have
do you still want to race
these two consecutive, you know, big wins one year after another?
No, that's right. I mean, after going to the racetrack, I knew we had a very good chance of winning. You know, we prepared a really good race car. It was the exact same car we raced last year, and the car has not raced since last year's Oxford 250. So it'll probably go in the corner again until next year. But you know, it's different now. You know, we were able to succeed and win, given everything that I caused or did or screwed up. So there's definitely that. But then you look at it like, man, this takes up a lot of my life. But this is my life and this is all I know. So if I was to sit on the couch on the weekend, I'd probably go crazy and my wife would probably want to murder me. So we're going to stick to racing.
Well, I'll tell you, your stock continues to rise. I mean, this has been a career year for you, and you go to a different caliber whenever you win 2 Oxford 250s, and you got the potential now to tie Ralph Nason as the only 3-time winner, or three wins in a row. So, congratulations, man! It was a heck of a job, and congratulations on this great season.
Thank you guys very much. No, it's been a great season between myself, even my brother at home. So hopefully we keep going. We still got a handful of races left, and hopefully we'll be talking to you guys again soon.
All right, we'll keep winning, and we'll keep having you on.
We'll keep you on the calendar.
That's right. That's Cole Butcher. Joining us next, we're going to talk to Bob Sargent about ASA and Winchester and all sorts of stuff.
SRI Performance and Stock Car Steel are your all-inclusive motorsports warehouses with more than 450 product lines. They have everything to put you in victory lane, from professional racing to street performance. SRI and Stock Car Steel have you covered with leading brands as well as a large selection of steel, aluminum, and plastics. With locations in North Carolina and Indiana, access has never been easier. SRI has the world's largest inventory of used parts. SRI Performance and Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, your one-stop shops for everything racing.
What creates a winning combination? Quality, focus, discipline, and most importantly, speed. At Pepperjack Kennels, we provide exceptional water and land training services for hardworking retrievers. From leading in the field to leading on the track, together we establish winning dogs and a winning team. Devoted to retrievers and motorsports, we are Pepperjack Kennels. Visit us online to learn more.
Welcome to the new home for race fans, Racing America. Live short track racing. Exclusive team content.
Any NASCAR fan is really a short track fan at heart.
Behind the scenes access. From grassroots to NASCAR, join us at the home for race fans everywhere. Racing America, it's in our DNA.
I'm Chris Busher, driver of the number 17 Roush Fenway Ford Mustang, and this is Racing America.
Welcome back to the Bullring today, presented by R&S Race Cars. Alan and Jess here with you, and our ASA list not driver.
I say he's still an A-lister.
He's definitely an A-lister, and that's Bob Sargent. And Bob, thanks for joining us. First off, before we talk about Winchester ASA, it looks like things went pretty well at Milwaukee this weekend with the truck race.
Yeah, we're really enjoying being at the Milwaukee Mile. We did the Father's Day event there with the late models, and then came back here with the ARCA and the Craftsman Truck Series on Sunday. Had a real big crowd and good racing, so I think we're off to some good things at the Milwaukee Mile.
So headed into Labor Day weekend, of course we know Winchester for the Winchester 400, one of the super late model crown jewels, but I would say Labor Day weekend is almost as big as Winchester 400 weekend, and definitely that crowd, those people from that area take this weekend, they look just as forward to this weekend as the Winchester 400 weekend. So tell us everything that's going on this year.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. The Winchester 400 is such an event, and I think this was built as a precursor for the 400 and just gained popularity with the fans. It's a holiday weekend. It's a lot of camaraderie in the campground and the partying, you'll say, in the event. So, well, Charlie and Larry Bozer, they were intent on keeping the supers and the pros. So we're excited to have both the supers and the pros there from CRA sanction and all the other divisions. So, we just encourage everybody to go to the website, whether it be CRA's and or Winchester's, and get all the times and the different divisions that are running.
Yeah, and of course our friends with Vors Compact Touring Series will be there, and CRA Street Stocks, Late Model Sportsman.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of the same divisions that you'll end up seeing in October for the Winchester 400. We want you to go. If you can't, you can watch it here on Racing America. So as we look, forward, before we do that, looking back a little bit on this season so far with ASA, you've brought Freddie Query in as the tech director for the ASA Stars Series. Combining these regional tours and having the national tour so far, do you feel like you guys have gotten caught up? Because I know it's a lot to take in at one time.
Yeah, it was a lot to take in, and I think we come out of this 23 season with a great foundation. It was all on a yellow legal pad, all of our ideas and everything we wanted to accomplish. And then when you put that into reality, we learned so much this year about the different regions, the different procedures that the 3 series run, some of the rules that needed to be cleaned up, fixed. We get opinions from the teams, from the manufacturers, the drivers of, how to make these rules cost effective and still competitive. The ASA National Tour is a super series division, and we're working on this. Actually, Freddie, Eddie Chu, all of our staff has done a great job working on 2024 in the future already. We expect to have those out very shortly now. They're being finalized as we speak. So we think we've made a lot of progress this year. And, we've got some great races left, 3 on the national tour. All 3 regional tours have races left. So we're going to finish up 23 with a bang and be ready for 24.
Yeah, it'll be really exciting to have these big events to finish out the season. And, from my perspective, I think, it seems like everything has gone really well for it being the inaugural season, and really what you guys were having to do to bring all of these different moving parts together. I think from the racers, they've been both, helpful and patient, but they've been great about sharing their opinions. It seems like everyone's been very collaborative, and, from an outsider, it seems like I'm very optimistic that 2024 is just going to be bigger and better, but hey, 2023 has gone pretty good too.
Yeah, that's kind of where we're at. I think we looked at it. We had 96 different owners, I think, already raced with us. So there are a lot of participants out there still. We have a lot of people asking questions about 24 and building more cars. So again, a very bright future ahead of us. Again, we go into Toledo here in a couple of weeks. Looking forward to that with the national tour. But as we said, we've got so many regional races left with Winchester this weekend that we're going to keep listening to the teams and the drivers and the fans and tweaking this thing. But we think we'll have a much better product in 24. It took us a lot of bumps and bruises this year to really learn what works and listen to the teams and the drivers. And we're going to continue to do that.
Well, Bob, I appreciate you joining us. We can't wait to see Winchester this weekend. It was great seeing the trucks back at Milwaukee. Continue success this year, and definitely can't wait till next year.
Well, thank you for all you do and helping keeping the fans all apprised of all these events and the news of every day. So, again, thank you guys, and we'll look forward to seeing you at Winchester this weekend.
Yes, sir. Thank you. All right, whenever we come back, we are going to give you the highlights of this busy weekend that we've had on Racing America.
What creates a winning combination? Quality, focus, discipline, and most importantly, speed. At Pepperjack Kennels, we provide exceptional water and land training services for hardworking retrievers. From leading in the field to leading on the track, together, we establish winning dogs and a winning team. Devoted to retrievers and motorsports, we are Pepperjack Kennels. Visit us online to learn more.
5-star bodies, the most advanced bodies on the market, aerodynamically engineered, Manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials. Tested tough for optimum performance. The highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looked so good. Faster, lighter, stronger, better. 5-star.
SRI Performance and Stock Car Steel are your all-inclusive motorsports warehouses with more than 450 product lines. They have everything to put you in victory lane, from professional racing to street performance. SRI and Stock Car Steel have you covered with leading brands as well as a large selection of steel, aluminum, and plastics. With locations in North Carolina and Indiana, access has never been easier. SRI has the world's largest inventory of used parts. SRI Performance and Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, your one-stop shops for everything racing.
Welcome to the new home for race fans, Racing America. Live short track racing. Exclusive team content.
Any NASCAR fan is really a short track fan at heart.
Behind the scenes access. From grassroots to NASCAR, join us at the home for race fans everywhere. Racing America, it's in our DNA.
Welcome back, everybody. Glad to have you here with us on the Bullring. Alan and Jess here with you this afternoon, and so glad that I got to go back to Oxford again this weekend. Lots of folks were asking about you. Where's Jess? What's Jess wearing? When is she going to get here? And, so hopefully we can make that happen next year.
Well, I'm really glad you got to go as well.
Yes.
And I will join you next year because that's one of these races I get FOMO from not being at.
We'll have to get a camper and just stay there in the campground.
Okay.
All right. You know what time it is now, right?
It's time for the highlights.
It's time for the highlights. Let's go racing across America. It all started here for us last Thursday. State Park Speedway in Wisconsin for the super late models. Dylan McAsee and Race Hayes up front for the start, with Hayes and the 02 going to the front. Three-way battle for the lead between Hayes, the 76 of Travis Vaughn, and the 52 of Brock Heinrich. Vaughn gets the lead and goes on from there to lead the rest of the way. He gets the win. Hayes just beats out Heinrich for second place. Friday night, Five Flag Speedway, pro late models. Augie Grill in the 43 and the 89 of Dylan Fetcho lead this big field to green. Just a few laps later, Jackson Boone in the 7 bypasses Grill for the lead. Hard racing for third between the black 18 of Carson Brown and the red 18 of Hunter Robbins. Robbins comes out on the wrong end of things and into the turn one wall. Boone pulls away in the end to get the win over Fetcho and Brown. And the Gulf Coast weekend continued Saturday at Mobile for the pro late models. Dustin Smith and Brent Cruz on the front row for the start, with Cruz taking the early lead. Caution with 22 laps to go when the 5 of Chuck Dills spins off turn 1. 2 laps later, save of the year, maybe the save of the decade, Jess, as Gavin Graham somehow saves the 70 car in turn 3. Good to have that banking at Mobile.
Well, first of all, I feel like you say save of the year every other week, so I'm trying to decide how much merit that has.
This does.
It was.
Yes.
It was.
6 laps to go in a great battle for the lead between Cruz, Graham, and Smith, with Graham gaining the advantage. A few laps later, Cruz and Smith get together and both go spinning off turn 3. At the end, Graham scores the win over Jason Vale and Smith. Also at Mobile Saturday, the Mods of Mayhem, and they did live up to their name, Jess. The 131 of Jeff Letson grabs the lead on the start over Donnie Hamrack. Lap 4, the 46 of Cody Stickler goes to the outside to pass Letson for the lead. He was safe there because 1 lap later, several cars go off track on the back stretch. They end up wrecking in turn 3. Stickler goes on to dominate from there to take the victory over Augie Grill. That's right, he was in that modified. And Richie Smith. Saturday, Sauble Speedway up in Ontario. APC United late models, rookies Corey Luciano and Chase Pinsino lead the field to the green flag. Pinsino in the 22 leads, but J.R. Fitzpatrick is able to take the top spot away on the outside. Fitzpatrick dominates the rest of the way for the win over Shea Gimmel and Kyle Steckley. Saturday, Owasso Speedway in Michigan, the Reveal the Hammer Super Late Models. 72 of Scott Hentz jumps out to the lead, eventually drops back. 18 laps to go. The 14 of Steve Needles leads, but he loses power in front of Blake Childers, knocking them both from contention. The 8 of Phil Bozell takes over from there and holds off Mark Shook to take the win. Also Saturday, Oxford Plains Speedway, Oxford 250 weekend. New England Super Modifieds, Bobby Timmons and Mark Romanowski on the front row, with the 52 of Romanowski gaining the early lead. 15 laps to go. Timmons gets a run on Romanowski in lap traffic and takes over the lead. Timmons leads the rest of the way for the win over Romanowski, who would end up with his own nest win the following day. American-Canadian Tour late models also at Oxford. Alexander Tardy gets the lead at the drop of the green flag. The 03 of Derek Luchacki now in the lead until Gabe Brown gets underneath to go up front. Brown leads the rest of the way for his first career ACT late model win over Luchacki and Joey Polewarczyk. 50th annual Oxford 250, Jimmy Renfro and Cole Butcher lead the field to green. Just 6 laps in, Butcher taps Renfro in turn 1. Renfro spins, spinning him to the rear along with Butcher, who was penalized for rough driving. Max Cookson passes Mike Hopkins for the lead and would dominate the middle portions of the race until last chance race winner and 38th place starter Curtis Gary goes to the front. Gary's night would end from there after a pit miscue and eventually spin. Then several cars go off track in turn 3 after contact from Jeff Taylor sends the white 88 of Brandon Barker spinning. Joey Dwyer leads until the 53 of Butcher gets underneath him exiting turn 2. Butcher leads the rest of the way to become the first back-to-back winner of the 250 since 2014. Joey Dwyer also from 41st to 2nd. That's the most cars ever passed in an Oxford 250 at 39. And finally, the Elite 8 Super Late Models at Slinger. It's the Brad and Brad show as Brad Keith and Brad Miller lead the field to green. 28 of Brandon Burge gets the lead, but he and Miller get together, sending them both into the wall and collecting Luke Fenhouse. The 11 of Alex Prunty just holds off Steve Apel to capture the checkered flag. And that is the highlights.
Yeehaw!
When we come back, we're going to tell you how you could get a job in racing, just like Jess and I. We'll talk to Jay Pennell whenever we come back.
What creates a winning combination? Quality, focus, discipline, and most importantly, speed. At Pepperjack Kennels, we provide exceptional water and land training services for hardworking retrievers. From leading in the field to leading on the track, together we establish winning dogs and a winning team. Devoted to retrievers and motorsports, we are Pepperjack Kennels. Visit us online to learn more.
SRI Performance and Stock Car Steel are your all-inclusive motorsports warehouses with more than 450 product lines. They have everything to put you in victory lane, from professional racing to street performance. SRI and Stock Car Steel have you covered with leading brands as well as a large selection of steel, aluminum, and plastics. With locations in North Carolina and Indiana, access has never been easier. SRI has the world's largest inventory of used parts. SRI Performance and Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, your one-stop shops for everything racing.
Ready to take your brand to the next level? At Victory Lane Design, we can help. If you are looking for a professional website, cutting-edge logo, a hero card that separates you from the pack, or video production to keep you connected with your fans, then check out VictoryLaneDesign.com, where winning counts.
Welcome to the new home for race fans, Racing America. Live short track racing. Exclusive team content.
I bet, that's what they all say. Any NASCAR fan is really a short track fan at heart.
Behind the scenes access. From grassroots to NASCAR, join us at the home for race fans everywhere. Racing America, it's in our DNA.
Welcome back to the Bullring, presented by R&S Race Cars. Alan Dietz, Jess Ballard, and now Jay Pennell from Racing America joining us. And Jay, you've been busy. I know you were at Daytona for our NASCAR Cup Series coverage, and said you hadn't worked a Cup race in a while. So for somebody else who hasn't worked a Cup race in a while, is it like riding a bike?
It really was. You know, I've been around the NASCAR Cup Series for a long time, just in different capacities, right? So the last race I had covered at Daytona in the media side was, I think, the 2015 Daytona 500 when I worked for Fox Sports. So since then I was with Richard Childress Racing, and was lucky enough to win at Daytona with Austin Dillon. So that was just a whole new side of the business, right? And so to get back and be on the media side, it felt really good. It felt good to ask questions again and, write stories. It was nice. Yeah.
And you were at Pensacola the day before, weren't you?
Yeah, it was a big weekend of racing in Florida. So we went down there for the Pro Late Model race. Saw a really great race down there. Drove overnight and got to Daytona about 7:15 in the morning. So
that's a drive.
It was a little bit of lack of sleep, but it was definitely worth it. I saw two incredible races all weekend long, so it was good. It was good.
What do we so we got the playoff field set at Daytona. So we go to Darlington now. It's the first race of the playoffs this year. What do you think we can expect? Because you have got some really strong teams right now that could factor in that aren't in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. I mean, last year Eric Jones went there and won the race, and he wasn't in the playoffs, right? So you have that precedent already where somebody's gone in and won to the playoff opener that isn't in the playoffs, right? I think of somebody like Chase Elliott, right? Chase isn't in the drivers' championship, but that 9 car is in the owners' championship, and I think that team has a chip on their shoulder now going into the final 10 weeks to really overperform what they've been doing. So I look for them to be strong, but the Hendrick cars were strong there last time. William Byron won, obviously, last time we were there. So, and so were the Gibbs cars. So, I think it's a little bit more unknown now than I think ever really before, because, the playoff field is really, really tight, but then there's a lot of guys who aren't in the playoffs, like, somebody like Ty Gibbs or Daniel Suarez or Chase Elliott, that I think can go out there and really make an impact this weekend. Yeah, Alex Bowman for sure. Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah. She's a big fan.
Yeah.
Well, Travis is definitely in a better mood on Sundays if that car's running better. Well, actually, speaking of that, you have been very involved with our recent launch of Racer Jobs.
Yes.
And well, just tell us a little bit about a little update. It's been live
a month
now?
Yeah, about a month now. Yeah. No, it's a really great resource, and it's something that I've really enjoyed working on. Coming up in this industry, it was a lot of just finding the right time and the right people and things like that. And there wasn't really any job boards or anything where you could go where it was like, hey, this is a list of openings within the industry. So
which is crazy. It seems like every other thing's been thought of here and not a classified, if you will, almost.
Yeah, for sure. And, we have jobs on there from all the teams in the RTA, but also, open wheel teams. There's, General Motors. There's all kinds of motorsport jobs in there. And I think one of the things that's important to realize is, there's all kinds of roles within the industry that, you need IT people. Mm-hmm. You need people to handle travel. You need business managers. You need accounting. Those kinds of things. Yeah, those kinds of things that I think a lot of people don't know are opportunities within the motorsports industry. And they think, well, I'm not an engineer. I'm not a driver. I'm not a crew chief. So how can I be involved in motorsports? Well, I think this is a really great opportunity to find those chances, get yourself in front of some of these folks. And find these positions. And one of the other cool things I think we're going to do, we're starting to do this, is put together some content featuring people within the industry. What do you do? How did you get here? What is your advice for folks looking to get into the motorsports industry? So, I've done a lot of different roles in NASCAR and in motorsports. So to help other people kind of find a role and start a career is something that I'm really excited about.
Yeah, and you got to start somewhere. And I remember, when I was in college, I knew I was not going to get into motorsports because of my driving talent. But so how? And I didn't know how, and I just I knew of production companies that worked in racing. So my professor, or I think I called Lingner in Indianapolis, and they said, well, RPM Tonight's based in Fort Mill, with ESPN there in South Carolina. They said, we don't have any internships, but World Sports does, which is right here at the Speedway, and ended up getting in with World Sports. But that was the struggle, was figuring out how to get in.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm kind of in a similar boat, I knew I wanted to work in racing somehow. That's why I moved to Charlotte. So I went to school in Charlotte, but I didn't know how to do it. Right. So, I knew I wanted to be in the media side of things, but back then there was just, if you didn't work for a newspaper, then you weren't going to work in the media side of things. So, back in my day in the social media world, it was first taking off. I started a MySpace blog, and luckily had an internship that, I got at the Sports Business Journal.
Yep.
And now I had the email list from everybody at the NASCAR scene, NASCAR Illustrated, and I just send them my blog every week, right? But there, like you said, it was all a lot of word of mouth, people telling you, hey, I heard this is opening.
Yep.
But I think if anybody wants to work in the industry, there's a will, there's a way.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be dedicated to do it. Just like if you want to drive, you're going to have to put the work in. You're going to have to sacrifice things. Like you guys were just talking about, this is a lifestyle, whether you're a driver, a media member, whatever you're doing in this industry, it kind of takes over your life a little bit, and you really have to be dedicated to it. And I think there's a lot of people out there who are hungry and want to have these opportunities. And I feel like Racers Jobs is just the newest, best way to kind of see what opportunities are out there that you might not even think about.
Mm-hmm.
So,
no, I agree. Well, check it out, racerjobs.com. Jay, thanks for joining us. Are you going to Darlington?
Yes, I'll be in Darlington this weekend, so looking forward to starting off the playoffs. And Darlington is such a great track. Kerry Tharp and everybody down there does such a great job, and the racing's incredible. If you've never been to Darlington, I highly recommend getting down there for a race. But and we've got some great racing here on Racing America this week too.
Yep, no doubt. Well, one of the great races we had this past weekend was Pro Late Models. In addition to being at Five Flags, they were at Mobile. We'll talk to Mobile winner Gavin Graham.
Ready to take your brand to the next level? At Victory Lane Design, we can help. If you are looking for a professional website, cutting-edge logo, a hero card that separates you from the pack, or video production to keep you connected with your fans, then check out VictoryLaneDesign.com, where winning counts.
HMS Motorsport is the leader in motorsport safety, providing the most advanced driver safety products to NASCAR, IndyCar, sprint cars, and sports cars drivers. From grassroots to professional racers, HMS Motorsport has over 25 years' experience outfitting drivers with the best gear on the market. Equipped with first-hand product knowledge, our experts are ready to help you select the best harness belts, seats, head restraints, helmets, and racing attire for your type of racing. HMS is even the exclusive importer for Schroed belts, Schubert helmets, and Valero base layers. Visit one of our stores in Mooresville, North Carolina, or Danvers, Massachusetts, or check us online at hmsmotorsport.com, where you can learn the details of our products and order online. Safety starts here.
I feel like every kid that we were racing around, they were all had the same thing on their mind, right? They were all watching NASCAR, all trying to figure out how to get there and how to be able to progress through their dirt track to their local oval tracks to asphalt, and watch that build up. So I think for me it was still Mark Martin, and was the main one, and knowing his history of starting out ASA racing, or I guess later on ASA racing, being focused up in the Midwest, being able to work into NASCAR side of things. Just so happened to be at Roush Fenway Racing, so it's a pretty easy tie-in. But I think that's what everybody's trying to get to. But for the most part, trying to get to. We've got a lot of people that are just having a blast every weekend, and been able to go back and do a little bit of that this year, and hoping to do some more as we go forward, and actually start doing a little bit more dirt racing to not necessarily my roots, but something that I've done a little bit of in the very recent past, and really started enjoying. So starting to try and work back that way. So.
Welcome back to the Bullring, and our lucky dog this week, Jess, is the winner of the Pro Late Model feature at Mobile this past weekend. That's Gavin Graham. And Gavin, I appreciate you joining us. I know you got a little bit of a hurricane out the window there, so I hope everything's all right your way.
Yeah, everything's looking fine. Thanks for having me on. Can't thank you guys enough for giving me this opportunity. I mean, it's just awesome being on Racing America. We got this hurricane coming in right about now, so it's starting to look like it's gonna get a little wet.
Yeah, well, it was a little bit like a hurricane at Pensacola and Mobile this past weekend. First off, how in the world did you make that save in turn 3?
Well, really, I mean, I've been doing some dirt racing lately, and I feel like that maybe contributed a little bit, just sliding sideways, getting the feel of that, being able to keep the car under control, sliding to the infield, come back onto the track, and not losing any position or slowing the car down too much, really. I mean, I think the dirt definitely helped out a lot with that, and we obviously made a very incredible save, and I can't thank my driving ability enough.
Yeah.
Keep the car straight.
Yeah, you sound like Jess when she's talking about her television ability.
Well, just for the record, at the top of the show, what did you say that this was the save of a decade?
Save not only of the year, but of the decade. I mean, it's really as good a save as I've ever
Alan
seen.
was very impressed, and yeah, dirt racing, I guess, would do that. What have you been doing on dirt? And kind of give us an overview of everything that you've been doing in 2023.
Well, at the beginning of this year, we raced Dirt Nationals with David Rudiman at Volusia Speedway Park and the UMP Open Wheel Modifieds. And we've been racing that since last year. And really, it was just like trying to make me a better driver, give me more seat time and different experience on different tracks and different, configurations and how to sling a car sideways, pretty much. Just to get dirty, have some fun, because we just wanted to get some more seat time and, have a great time doing what we do and do what we love, which is racing. So that's was another way for us to try to find another way to do it.
Since you've been in this 70 Pro Late Model, you've had moments where you've been up there at the front and it seemed like luck didn't always work out your way. But that was a heck of a race Saturday night. I mean, I know it's you want to come out on top, but at the same time, it looks like it's a ton of fun.
Yeah, I mean, we've had so many shots to win, and it felt very redeeming once we finally got that win. We've had 3 shots to win a race, and they've all been taken away from us. Because of other things that went on the track, other competitors, cautions, just, racing deals that ended up not in our favor. And Saturday night ended up going in our favor, and we ended up winning, which was amazing for the team. We finally got our confidence up, and we're looking forward to the next race, and hopefully we can try to finish where we left off.
What is the goal here, long term, not just for the remainder of the season, but are you looking to hop in a super anytime soon? Is NASCAR the goal? Are you wanting to focus more on dirt racing?
Well, as of right now, we have a super. We haven't raced it very much because we've been trying to get settled into this pro car, and there's a lot more pro races down where we live, like closer to Pensacola and Mobile, like just more in the southeast. And we've been like progressively trying to get more and more super racing and starting to be like the double headers for the weekends. But the end goal is try to get to NASCAR sometime in the near future. We're going to try to get an ARCA soon, and then, progressively move our way up as it ends up working out for us.
Is that Thunder?
Yes, it is.
Uh-oh.
I think that's our cue.
Yeah, y'all batten down the hatches down there, and congratulations on the win. It was a heck of a job. You got a ton to be proud of, and I know we're going to see a lot of you on Race to America here the next few years, so we're going to enjoy it, and I hope you do too.
All right, thank you.
All right, that's Gavin Graham, the winner at Mobile. That scare you a little bit, Jess?
Yeah. I'm from Ohio. We ain't got hurricanes up there.
Yeah, well, all right. Hopefully everything turns out all right. I'm sure it will. Well, whenever we come back, we're going to talk to Ken Minnot of Wiscasset Raceway about their big race this weekend.
Welcome to the new home for race fans, Racing America. Live short track racing. Exclusive team content.
I bet, that's what they all say. Any NASCAR fan is really a short track fan at heart.
Behind the scenes access. From grassroots to NASCAR, join us at the home for race fans everywhere. Racing America, it's in our DNA.
SRI Performance and Stock Car Steel are your all-inclusive motorsports warehouses with more than 450 product lines. They have everything to put you in victory lane, from professional racing to street performance. SRI and Stock Car Steel have you covered with leading brands as well as a large selection of steel, aluminum, and plastics. With locations in North Carolina and Indiana, access has never been easier. SRI has the world's largest inventory of used parts. SRI Performance and Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, your one-stop shops for everything racing.
HMS Motorsport is the leader in motorsport safety, providing the most advanced driver safety products to NASCAR, IndyCar, sprint cars, and sports cars drivers. From grassroots to professional racers, HMS Motorsport has over 25 years' experience outfitting drivers with the best gear on the market. Equipped with first-hand product knowledge, our experts are ready to help you select the best harness belts, seats, head restraints, helmets, and racing attire for your type of racing. HMS is even the exclusive importer for Schroed belts, Schubert helmets, and Valero base layers. Visit one of our stores in Mooresville, North Carolina, or Danvers, Massachusetts, or check us online at hmsmotorsport.com, where you can learn the details of our products and order online. Safety starts here.
I'm Chad Knaus, and you're watching Racing America.
Welcome back to the Bullring, presented by R&S Race Cars. Alan Dietz and Jess Ballard here with you. And, you know, at Wiscasset up in Maine this weekend, they're going to be paving a lot of pounding and paving. Pounding a lot of pavement.
They sure are, Alan.
Yeah. We could edit that out, but
we'll keep it.
Just so you know,
authentic.
We're never perfect. Well, joining us now from Wiscasset is Ken Minnot. And Ken, thanks for joining us today, where they will be pounding a lot of pavement this weekend for the Boss Hog 150. Tell us about it.
It's our biggest weekend of the season, doubleheader Saturday and Sunday, but of course the big race on Sunday afternoon. And it's a race that was actually started by our former track owner, Dave St. Clair, who many people remember as Boss Hog. He's actually still racing at the age of 75. He's going to be racing in the race named after him this Sunday. It went away back in the early 2000s, and when the Jordans bought the track back in 2013, after a couple of years of talking with people, they decided it would be a good thing to bring the race back and bring it back in honor of Dave St. Clair and all that he and his family did. And it's built back up into one of the marquee events in the Northeast, which we're very proud of.
Well, first of all, what a great nickname, Boss Hog. What do you got to do to get a nickname like that? And secondly, I think it's great. A lot of these times, these races that are named after people are memorial races that, you know, the very important person doesn't get to witness. So this is really cool that he's going to be in the event. I think it's really cool when racetracks who have gone through, you know, different ownership keep these traditions alive. And I love when the weather, it certainly hasn't changed yet, but during the fall we have all these great events where the weather's starting to change. There are these, marquee events. A lot of them are the biggest event of the year for a lot of racetracks. And it seems like fans just are really excited about it and the tradition and just to get to the racetrack and for a lot of great racing.
Yeah, especially after all the struggles we had back in June and July. It's been that way for all tracks, including us, many rainouts. And now we're getting settled back into that, like you said, that really nice early fall, late summer weather that we all love. And that's when the big races happen. But Dave actually started the race himself back in 1991. And he's a very popular character up here in the Northeast. He's a member of the Maine Motorsports Hall of Fame. And it's kind of neat to see him racing in the race along with his grandson, Josh St. Clair, who is one of our top stars at Wiscasset now.
Yeah, Josh is a heck of a race car driver, and I enjoy watching him race. Tell me a little bit about what the folks can see this weekend on Saturday and Sunday. And the other great thing about Wiscasset, and I don't know if this event's going to be any different, but your weekly shows, you only charge $5 for grandstand admission.
Yeah, and that's going to be the case again this weekend. Every single show, whether it's a small weekly show or if it's a big marquee event like this, $5 grandstand admission, $20 on the pit side. Something the Jordans have really held firm to since they've had the track, and it's been very popular. We've got a lot of families, of course, that join us instead of just mom and dad. So that's been really great for us. Saturday, we'll have just a regular Group 2 show with our late models, modifieds, and outlaw minis, and the New England Dwarf Car Series is going to be joining us. And we finish off that night with a race that, ironically, again, Dave St. Clair came up with, called the Dash for Cash. Our late model class is one of our biggest classes. And he came up with this Dash for Cash idea for a special 20-lap non-winners race where we do a cash payout at the end of the night for them, just to give some guys who haven't had a chance to get on the podium a little bit of shine in the spotlight, so to speak. And then on Sunday, the big one, of course, we keep talking about the super late models, the Pro Stocks with the Boss Hog 150, but we've also got a 30-lap strictly street race, and our friends with NEMA will be in town, the NEMA Midgets and the NEMA Lights. And if you want to see next level fast, you've got to see the NEMA Midgets on Wiscasset Speedway. It's a sight to behold. These guys get around the track in under 13 seconds on a 3/8 mile track. And it's really a lot of fun. It's one of their favorite tracks to come to.
Well, I'll tell you, I love watching the weekly shows at Wiscasset, but this is one of my favorite races of the year. Good luck this weekend. I think you're going to have a great weekend up there. I hope the folks will fill the grandstands. Those of you outside of Maine, you can watch Saturday and Sunday here on Racing America. And again, Ken, we appreciate you and everything you folks do up there.
Anytime. Glad to be here, and I hope we pack the stands and we have a lot of viewers here on Racing America. I think it's going to be a great weekend.
All right. Thanks again, Ken.
You're welcome.
All right. Whenever we come back, we're going to tell you more about what you can watch on Racing America this weekend, Wiscasset, Winchester, and even more after this.
HMS Motorsport is the leader in motorsport safety, providing the most advanced driver safety products to NASCAR, IndyCar, sprint cars, and sports cars drivers. From grassroots to professional racers, HMS Motorsport has over 25 years' experience outfitting drivers with the best gear on the market. Equipped with first-hand product knowledge, our experts are ready to help you select the best harness belts, seats, head restraints, helmets, and racing attire for your type of racing. HMS is even the exclusive importer for Schroed belts, Schubert helmets, and Valero base layers. Visit one of our stores in Mooresville, North Carolina, or Danvers, Massachusetts. Or check us online at hmsmotorsport.com, where you can learn the details of our products and order online. Safety starts here.
What creates a winning combination? Quality, focus, discipline, and most importantly, speed. At Pepperjack Kennels, we provide exceptional water and land training services for hardworking retrievers. From leading in the field to leading on the track, together we establish winning dogs and a winning team. Devoted to retrievers and motorsports, we are Pepperjack Kennels. Visit us online to learn more.
5-star bodies, the most advanced bodies on the market, aerodynamically engineered, manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials, tested tough for optimum performance. The highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looked so good. Faster, lighter, stronger, better. 5-star.
Welcome to Raceface Digital Collectible Cards. Are you a driver or a team looking to expand your brand? Want to connect with your fans, give sponsors more exposure, and earn income from all card sales? Then Raceface Digital has you covered. Digitize your brand with 5 different collectible cards. Enrollment is now open to all drivers and all series. Visit racefacedigital.com today and use invite code RA1.
Welcome back to the Bullring, presented by R&S Race Cars. Jess Ballard. I'm Alan Dietz. And Jess, we had a great weekend of racing this past weekend.
Yes.
Oxford 250, Mobile, Pensacola, all sorts of. I don't sound that way, do I?
Depends on who you ask.
Well, you know what? Around the corner, we got a lot of other great racing coming up this weekend. It all starts Saturday and Sunday at Winchester Speedway, the 37-degree banks.
The World Stock Car Festival!
Hey, you could be an announcer.
That was the first ever race I went to outside of my home track.
Columbus.
Of Columbus Motor Speedway. So that was the first big race event I ever saw.
And it changed your life.
It did change my life.
Now you're here.
Now I'm here.
Also, Saturday and Sunday, Wiscasset Speedway up in Maine. They'll have racing Saturday, and then the Boss Hog 150 for the late models. I know a lot of this, not all, but some of the same late models that were at Oxford this past weekend planning to go there. Then to Sunday afternoon, Hermiston Raceway in Oregon. The Northwest Super Late Model Series will be there. And at Slinger Speedway in Wisconsin, as always, on Sunday afternoon, we'll be back with some Elite 8 Super Late Model racing. What excites you about these upcoming races? Which one? Winchester, probably?
Winchester, for sure. They all excite me because I'll be able to watch them live on racingamerica.tv. But yeah,
Ooh,
Winchester, the High Banks of Winchester, that was a life-changing event for me.
Yeah.
Watching Travis Braden wheel it around that track.
Don't get much better than that,
It
right?
does not, Nope.
All right. Well, while we get Jess to cool off, we'll be back and we'll wrap up the show after this.
Ready to take your brand to the next level? At Victory Lane Design, we can help. If you are looking for a professional website, cutting-edge logo, a hero card that separates you from the pack, or video production to keep you connected with your fans, then check out VictoryLaneDesign.com, where winning counts.
SRI Performance and Stock Car Steel are your all-inclusive motorsports warehouses with more than 450 product lines. They have everything to put you in victory lane, from professional racing to street performance. SRI and Stock Car Steel have you covered with leading brands as well as a large selection of steel, aluminum, and plastics. With locations in North Carolina and Indiana, access has never been easier. SRI has the world's largest inventory of used parts. SRI Performance and Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, your one-stop shops for everything racing.
Final lap here on Bullring. We want to thank our guests today, including Cole Butcher, Bob Sargent, Jay Pennell, also Gavin Graham, and Ken Minnot. No Cars Tour Weekly this week, but Jess and JD will be back for more Cars Tour Weekly coming up, and we'll let you know about that. And we don't want you to forget about our 24/7 channel on connected devices. You can go watch all sorts of exclusive Cup content, short track races, some live short track races, more programming with Jess Ballard in it, all sorts of great stuff. Did you know that?
I did know that. I leave it on for my dog when I'm
Just
gone.
to comfort the dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was telling Travis about this the other day. I was like, statistically, I bet I'm on that channel at least once a day. And to me, that's a win. Look how far I've gone since Winchester, since the World Stock Car Festival in 2015.
Racer jobs, and we'll get Jess to tell us next time how she jacked a compact at Winchester. That'll all be next week, so be sure to stay tuned for that great story. So for Jess Ballard, I'm Alan Dietz. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week here on the Bullring.